Someone invited me to a quantum healing group and I said, no, thank you, because I'm beyond healing. And I didn't mean I am beyond healing, but my perception of healing has changed. I'm a spiritual psychologist, so that's quite a statement. And I want to explain it to you, and I want to do a powerful alignment session with you today where you can feel what I mean, why healing is not necessary. And let me explain for a moment, because healing is from the human perspective. This is the human, right? And the human has traumas and patterns and all that. And the idea that this is not okay, it needs to be fixed, we need to heal it. My perception has totally shifted to, and my lived experience and the people I work with experience the same, that we move to a new way of, a new human, but a new way of living. All connected to the new earth, obviously. So this new way of living is where we allow our soul, our higher self, our I am, or whatever you call it, we connect with that, we align with that, and then the next step is we allow that more into our life. So the human, which is you are your soul and your higher self, right? It's not separate from you. It all becomes one. And the human is just morphed with your soul, and together you do this life. And from that higher perspective that your higher self has. Now, what today's video is about is that morphing is quite challenging, because we think we need to do it, we need to figure it all out, right? So we morph maybe a little bit, and then, or maybe you not at all, but and then we get away from it again and we do human. So you could say the olden days, I thought, if we clear all the trauma and all the patterns and everything, then this will happen automatically. But it doesn't. You just have a better human life. I have had, in my private practice, I worked a lot with people on becoming a better human, a happier human, without any connection to soul, just by clearing up trauma. And you can do that very fast and effective with quantum healing. Now, why am I moving away from that? Because that sounds amazing. Let me do every week quantum healing with you, and you become a happier woman, a happier human. Sounds great, right? But that connection, and this is what I did in my life, and people were grateful for that. But then I discovered there's a higher self, there's a soul, there's more to this human life. And that's where I started to feel into that. And the amount of love that comes from here, the amount of wisdom that comes from here, being my higher self, my soul. When you hear people having a near-death experience, they have this 360 view, right? They know everything, they understand everything. That's my higher self. So when I connect with that and start feeling, just from my human perspective, a little bit of it, it feels like, oof, that's great. And I'm doing there because I believed it was outside of me. I'm taking you through the process. And again, what we're going to do today is extremely powerful, because we're going to make this easier for you to allow more of your soul into your life. Sounds so funny when I say it like that, right? My whole body is already activated of what we're going to do. Let's see if I can still stay with theory, because I want to start. Let me explain what we're going to do. And oh yeah, I was talking, I can't explain this anymore. I think you know what I talk about. The reason I can't explain, my whole body starts to be in the zone of quantum, the zone of gamma brain waves, the zone of this 360 view, this wisdom state. And what I will do there, or the unified field, as Carl Jung called it, whatever you call it. I had yesterday the most beautiful discussion for hours with my son about the field, God, and the beginning of Earth, and we had both such different opinions about it, and still the same experience how life is. So it was beautiful. Anyway, I will not go into that, but amazing discussions, right? Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have 2 points in time. One is your current reality, where you are now, and the other one is where we're going to go to, all of us, humanity. And the other point that I'm pointing at, no pun intended, but the other point I'm pointing at is your higher self, not just aligning with it, but merging with it. So your life is not from the human perspective, but it's from your greater perspective, from the perspective of your expansion, your everything, that pure love, that pure wisdom. From there, let's do life. It's so beautiful. So I want to help you to anchor that in more, to connect with that more, to bring that more into your life. And I do that with these 2 points, which we're going to go into in a moment, to activate that within you. Because what happens when you have 2 points, I can then see, and it's funny because you're going to watch this in replay because I'm recording this, but for the field, that doesn't matter. Because in that space, as you might know, there's no time and space. So basically, I'm going to operate from my highest expression, you can say, and make that easier for you as well. And when you go into the field, there's a vast amount of information. And for me to just focus on what is holding you back to fully living that enlightened life, or living your light. It doesn't have to be enlightened, but living more of your light, allowing more of your soul to come through. If I have that point and this point, my attention and focus is really onto what is in between, what is holding you back, your human back, to fully be that. I hope you get what I'm saying. So that's what we're going to do. As I'm psychic, I can read the field. I want to take you through that. So before we go into that, if you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share this with people, especially if this has done something for you, because these sessions are powerful and fast and quick. Now, for some people, I will say it very quickly. For some people, you might dissociate when I do this because it's so quick. The clearing of patterns, trauma, or whatever is in between or holding you back from fully living this. That goes very quick, very fast, because I'm just going to command the field, and the field is going to command your subconscious, and your subconscious is going to obey as much, and listen to this, as much as you can handle. But sometimes your conscious mind finds it too overwhelming for you to deal with, so it zooms you out. You get distracted, you fall asleep, or you think, what a bullshit. And it brings in all these things into your field, so you stop doing this because your ego mind thinks, ooh, I don't know about this. This feels a bit too much. So it shuts you down for some parts. So just know, whatever happens is what you can handle. And sometimes you consciously can't handle it, but subconsciously you do. And what can't be handled you will not deal with it. All right. Next phase, please. Let's start here. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the second point, and the second point is I never use those terms, morphing. You morphing with your essence. The word ignition is also beautiful there. We ignite that oneness within you. And not so you are becoming your higher self and you're sitting on a mountain meditating, but so that you can bring that into your life. I'm all about light, living your light. That's why I call what I do now light living. All right. There's a tribe, by the way. I have started a community. It's called Light Living, where we do all kind of things around that. I will talk with you about that in the end, because now I want to focus on this. I want to ask you, if you can, to close your eyes and imagine for a moment this second point. That is a time where you are fully realized. I want you, while I speak, imagine that that is you, as much as you want that to be your truth, of course. Just calm your breath. You're going to take a very short ride to that second point where you are realized. And see if you can feel into it as much as you can. And don't think about, is that possible? Is that can I realize that? No, we will do that later. For now, just imagine that you are realized. That you do remember what your soul is all about. That you do remember the love of you as your higher self. And imagine for a moment you do know what your light is. It's all the same thing, I'm just using different words. Imagine there is a moment in time that you remembered all of that. And while you remember all of that, you start living from it. And what does that mean, living from it? Imagine that you are there in a state where your life is so aligned with your higher self. Your life is so guided by your light. Your life is strange words coming to me, is exploited by your higher self. And I mean that in a very positive way. Because you want you, the wiser you, to come through into this life, into this human life, and that you together create this living experience. Imagine for a moment that you can lean back as the human. You can surrender. You can trust your higher self that has your back at all times. Your higher self knows every step on the way that you're taking right now and that you have agreed to take in this life. It knows your purpose. It knows the path of least resistance. So imagine there is a time in your life that you fully trust that. And you fully know that that is your reality. Just imagine that to be true. And then notice how that feels to be in that reality where you've been taken care of. Where life just flows with such ease without you really having to make much of an effort. And everything you do in life, because you live life, that's why you're here. You live life. Knowing what's the next step, knowing what is right, knowing who to trust and who not. You just know it because it's your higher self that comes through, who sees it all, who knows it all. That's the life you're having. Wonderful. Can you feel how it feels to be in that reality? I want you to feel that for a moment. Ooh. And feel that even stronger. Can you make that stronger, that feeling? Can you grow that within you, that feeling? And if you can't feel it, imagine it. Imagine that you feel fulfilled. Imagine that you feel joyful and with ease, and all that you are carrying is taken off your shoulders because you're guided through this life. Beautiful. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to go to the other point in a moment. I just remembered, I just said we're going to have an hour because normally I would like to take an hour, but we're already 15 minutes in. I don't think we need an hour, but maybe that's what was planned. I don't know. We will see. I don't want to rush because I really, really want you to feel the difference from where we started and when we end. And you will feel it. You will feel it. Even if you zoomed out, you will feel the difference. And I will have you feel it so you notice it, because I will ask you to give an indication how you feel in a moment and where you will be feeling in the end. All right, let's go to the first point. We leave this, we park this for a moment. That point is there. So because you did that with me, I have that point now, right? So let's go to the first point, and that's your current reality. I want to ask you to feel into your current reality. Just notice that. No drama, please, just neutral observation. Your current reality that is different from the light, light living, let's say. Living your light that we just went to. So just see how your current life is different from that. That's all. How that is not aligned with that. And maybe parts are, maybe parts not. Just observe. All right. Great. And from this point you are, your current reality, I want to ask you if you could imagine you look in space and you can see the second point. It could be in your room or outside of your room. I don't know how far it is away. That second point that we just created, is that a reality that is easy for you to reach from here, from your current reality? Let's feel into it. Don't think, feel into it. Can you see the second point? Is it far away? Is it easy to achieve? Or is that difficult? Is there obstacles or not? If there would be a road, listen to this, if there would be a road from where you're now to that second point, how would the road be? Is that just a straight line? You just hop over there? Or does it have a lot of curves? Or maybe you don't even see the end. Maybe there's all forest there. It's impossible to go there. Or it feels like there's a big rock on the way. Or how does that look for you? I want you to really feel it because we want to feel into that in the end. So I want to give you that. I want to ask you to give that a number. Let me think. It's been a while. 10 is that is absolutely easy. You forgot about it. You can step into it and that's your life. 10. 5 is, yeah, I want to, but I need to do quite some work, but then I will eventually get there. That's your feeling, right? And 1 or 0 is like, hey, sister, that's not going to happen in my lifetime. So which number are you? And maybe you let us know in the comments because we would love to see that number changing later. Beautiful. Wonderful. Okay. Now we're going to start the alignment. So what I'm going to do is you don't need to do anything. You just sit back and relax. Maybe you don't lie down if you're someone that falls asleep, or because the energy is going to rise. If you easily fall asleep, or I need to sneeze, I'm just pausing for a second. All right, back again. So if you're someone that easily falls asleep or drifts away or dissociates, sit up, don't lay down. You can do it with your eyes closed, eyes open, it doesn't really matter. You don't understand everything I say, which also is not important. It's your subconscious that will pick up and execute the commands that I'm going to give. I'm going to connect with your higher self. And from there, I'm going to give it instructions. This is a group reading. So I'm just tapping into the field of everyone that watches this at whatever time. It's all incorporated. Because remember, in this space, there's no time. In this field, the quantum field, as I like to call it, there is no space and time. So it doesn't matter where you are, how far away you are, what time you watch this. As I choose to focus on this, I will connect with that. And I want you to give me, Alice Roorda, permission to connect with your higher self. So you just say something in your mind or out loud. I give Alice Roorda permission to access my higher self. All right. Thank you for that. So I'm just going to clear my energy for a second and I'm going to tune in. You don't need to remember the points. They're already there. They're in the field and I will work with that. There's nothing you need to do. You just relax and you just notice what you need to notice without needing to know what that is. So I'm going to clear my energy. All right. I'm going to tune in. Exciting. Nice. So here we are with these 2 points. We have the current reality and we have a desired reality where it is all about working. Your higher selves are excited. It's all about allowing more of that highest expression into this life. So it really becomes a co-creation in that sense. The higher self leading, the human expressing it, and bringing it into matter, into reality. Wow, getting really, really warm as the energy is rising. So there we are, these 2 points. So here I'm going to talk about the higher self as if it's one in the field. There we are. So higher self, I would love for you to let us start with the river analogy. It's always great because there's 2 points, and you can imagine that people go from, I need to put it like this, right? Go as if a river from where they are now to that point they want to be. Let's call it the desired reality or the light living. That's where you want to be. And imagine that's a river, and there's all these boulders, all these rocks on the way, and those are the traumas, the patterns, the family histories, and all that. That's all on the way, and that can stop people because they cling on to it, they hang on to it, and they don't just flow with that river. So, higher self, can you then, I would like you to take those boulders as much as possible out of that river. You understand the analogy, yes. So, could you then, I would like to command you then, higher self, to take that river and clear out the boulders in the right way, in the right order, and do a massive change history, and everything is needed. Thank you. My body just moves with all the energy, in case you have your eyes open and think, what is he moving? It's just the energy moving through me. All right. So we dive in more specifics. So higher self, please create the perfect treatment plan for this group here. Whenever they watch, that makes it the easiest, the fastest, and gentlest way possible of ever be clearing here. So this is not so much about higher selves, about healing and clearing anything because it's wrong. There's nothing wrong with the human. But we really talk about making it easier for people to live their light. Yes, so that's clear. Because that changes the focus, right? I'm not guiding, this is just happening, this movement, I just go with it. In this state, anything that comes, I just go with it, as long as it's beautiful, loving. All right. So what else? What is the first thing? Anxiety comes up big. There's anxiety. There's anxiety for what? There's anxiety for, ooh, I feel my stomach. There's anxiety, ooh, for not knowing what that new road, that new path, which is not new, it's your only path really that you want to walk, but the experience is anxiety for a path unknown. Anxiety for how am I going to live? How am I going to make it happen? And anxiety, that's what I'm feeling. I'm going to be excluded from life. I don't say it's true, but that's the anxiety about. If I really live my light, but I still have people around me, will they not call me nutters? All right. I just need to tell my higher self to, because I'm so physically experience everything and it's not really needed. So my higher self, can we just reduce the amount of energy that blockages and all those things I feel in my body. So I can just focus on what's happening. Thank you. It is part of my ego that likes to validate what I'm doing here, showing to you that my body is all moving. So thank you, ego. We don't need the validation. We're good here. All right, that anxiety. I'm just saying it out loud. I can do it in my mind, but I'd like you to understand what's happening. The anxiety. Higher self, do you see that anxiety? Yes. Oh, now my heart starts to pound. Oof. Yes, I feel that anxiety. So higher self, can we then clear that anxiety and all those elements I just named and all those I have not named? So please just clear that, sweep that away, clear that out right now. Thank you. Just breathe through this, please. If you feel things are, something is, it's letting go. Take a deep breath, breathe it out. Imagine that you breathe in all this light and you're just letting out slowly that what no longer serves you. A few deep breaths, because there's a lot of anxiety. And I get that as a human. Still doing its work, so that's why I'm quiet. Okay. All right. Do you need any help with this? Yes. What do you need help with? There's whole belief systems around that. Okay. Some of this is removed, not everything of the anxiety has gone because there's belief systems around that. Let me check in what beliefs are those. I just mentioned them already, yeah. Beliefs that I will be excluded from society, beliefs. I'm just naming them. So higher self, please take and treat these beliefs and any beliefs that are related to this anxiety of living this light. So what I'm noticing, beliefs around how others, this is the biggest one, how others perceive you, how you're being perceived by others. If you, and your idea is that your life is going to absolutely shift, and it's going to shift, but maybe not. You're still going to do your job and things and still have your buy the milk and things like that. But there's a lot of beliefs about that it will be so different, so strange. Not so for some of them, not for everyone. Is that the belief that it's scary? No, the belief that is true, but that's not the main one. There is between these 2 points, there is a certain beliefs that withholds you. I'm just focusing on it. This withhold you to move on. So give me the main belief. The main belief is this: when I let go of all that I know and go into the unknown, and it's like I will seem nutters, but also you believe that your life is going to fall apart. Everything you do now to keep your life in order, you believe that that's all going to scatter and fall apart, and you might end up in a van or on the street, or it will go wrong with you. That's your belief. That's the main thing there. So there's some things that you feel I need to do the old way because otherwise that will happen. Great. Thank you for that clarity. That's great. All right. So can we then, higher self, clear those beliefs that are in the way from everyone here, from where they currently are, to that light living, to that living from your essence, your light, your higher self. Please clear that now. Yes. Thank you. And breathe through that. Oh. Yes. And why this works? Because your higher self commands your subconscious mind. And I made a video about that the other day. How the subconscious mind, it's all about the one around hope. Hope is old school. I explain in depth how the subconscious works there. And it really helps you to understand what we do now. They're the executors. So whatever they believe is your reality, they will execute. And we're now creating a new reality related to this light living. All right. So can we come back to the anxiety then? Can we release more of that? No, it says just let it rest there for a moment. There's other things. Okay, what else is still related to the anxiety? Please. I've never heard this, but your relationship with God. And God is source, is higher self, is you. You might have different words. You can call it source, right? Your relationship with source. Let me make it easier for everyone. What about it? What about your relationship with source? Oh, it is the do I really know how? Part of you is, do I really know how to connect with that? And others are more, when you know how to connect, it's more, do I do it right? Do I do it right? Can I really bring that into my life? Because maybe you connect with it during meditation, but once you come off your meditation cushion, you lost it. You don't feel it anymore. So am I doing it right? Because we want to bring that into your life. That's what light living is about. Living your light, your soul, your essence, and breathing from there, I could say, while you do life. Not on a meditation cushion, not when you are doing something, but throughout your whole day. And here it is, am I doing that right? That's in between. Am I doing it correct? Love that. Very, very human. And your higher self is saying, there's nothing you need to do, honey. There's nothing you need to do. Just surrender. Just allow me to come through. But your obstacle is, am I allowing the right way? And how do I do that allowing? So the overall thing is, am I doing it right? Love that. Yes, and that's the whole journey, isn't it? So for now, higher self, how can we clear that? And it says we clear that by you stop thinking, and you might participate in that there is a way to get it right. You just stop doing. Stop getting it right. Stop doing it right. Let go of anything that you believe need to be in a certain way. And then that's where your end is, that's where you need to be. Because you try to work at something is not helping. So stop working at it, stop believing you have to do something, and just allow things to unfold the way they unfold without you needing to be more connected and of course, doing eating healthy and movement and being in forest and nature and all that helps, but it's not needed as such for that to allow. You can do that while you're in prison, for example. I get shown a prison cell, which is funny. You can, for example, do that in prison where you have not the healthy food, not the movement, hardly any movement, or you don't have forest and all that. And you can still be there. So it's not because of those elements that makes that easier. That's just you working harder on it. Stop working at it. All right, how can we make that easier? We can release the belief that you need to work on it. Okay, says your higher self. All right, so do that then, higher self. Let's release the belief that you need to work hard at it. to be in that state of allowing your higher self to come through. So release that right now. Thank you. Oof. All right. How are you feeling? Yeah, I knew we could not do this in half an hour. So we just continue. I'm going to do one more layer, and then I want you to check in. I want to ask you to check in for yourself. So what's the next layer? Body functions, okay? What about it? The body, your system, your human, your flesh and blood and your organs and all of that is used to, let's say it, work in a certain way. And now you're moving to a new way of living where there's no way you can live in survival and live your light at the same time. And your body, even if it doesn't feel like that anymore, is often functioning in a survival operantus, is the word is coming through. So we would like to shift then that survival operantus, not so familiar with the word, to one of allowance. So with that, I would then say everything that is connected, may it be family lines, ancestors, family, whatever's in the family field, any events, any beliefs, any definitions, any part personalities that are finding that difficult, still operate in the old way. Oh, that's what we're doing. So higher self, can you update them? Can you tell them? I could, but you can do that better. Can you tell them about this new way of living and how that is safe and how that can be trusted and how that will bring so much more to the system and that will ease everyone's job in this body because it's going to be so much easier to exist because it doesn't have to fight a lion anymore. So higher self, please, can you do that? Can you do that in a short amount of time? In like 30 seconds? Yes, okay. Let me know when you're ready. So it's now informing your subconscious mind. If you've never done this, this might sound so nutters. Luckily, you feel things in your body, so it gives a little bit of evidence. And when you're not, just trust it to work. Because afterwards, you will hear in the comments, you will read in the comments what it actually did to everyone. And then you think, oh, even if I didn't feel anything, there must be a lot that happens actually. It's still informing. So I don't have to do anything. That's why I can just talk to you. Okay, there we are. There we are. Take some nice deep breaths. And just let it all go. With every breath you take, you let out, just relax your body. All right. I would like to ask you, I want to see where we are with this. I want to ask you again to notice the first point, your current state. Your current state. Yeah, we did that as a second, but that's the first. That's where it's starting point. Just notice your current state. And then maybe you saw that path or that road to that second state where you live your light, where you live your essence, in harmony, in co-creation, in coexistence. And just notice, is that attainable? Is that still far away? How does that path look now? Is there still obstacles? There might still be. Is it different though? Can you see it? And if you had to live that life, that second point, that light living, would it be hard, difficult to reach there now? How does that feel? Just notice that for yourself. You can always... It's an awareness, right? It's... All right. And then give it a number 10. That's very easy. And then 9, 8, 7, and then 5 would be like, yeah, I see it maybe, but I can imagine it's there, but it's still hard work. And 1 or 0 is like, 0 is like, no way, ever. So where were you from the scale of 0 to 10? Where are you? You might just want to share that or write it down for yourself or share that in the comments right now. I don't want this to be too long. It's not strange that I said an hour, right? Maybe this is something that I need to do more often here on YouTube. And also, I do them individual as well, right? So I really tune into what is in the way for you and clear that. So it becomes easier and easier for you to stay in your light and to live from there, to surrender to it. You could tell me a bit of your story as well. So we get it pinpointed there. So these are called quantum alignment sessions. You find them on my website, aliceroorda.com. I love doing those. All right. One last thing. Does it? Yes. Okay. Yeah, that one. One last thing, and then we need to finish it as well. The last thing is, I would like to anchor in the following statement, maybe more, I don't know, the following statement. So please tag and treat. There's more. I am my light. You might say that for yourself, but I'm working with your higher self, so it doesn't harm to do it, but you don't have to. I am my light, or my essence, or source, or the I am, whatever you like to call it, or God. I am that. And I am willing and able to live my light, to live my essence. Second treat. I am feeling safe. Ooh, good one. Oops. I am feeling safe living my light. One more. Living my light is what gives me fulfillment and joy and ease. Beautiful. So higher self, please tag and treat those. And please anchor those in. Deeply grounded into all these humans. So they experience that with so much more ease throughout their day. Yes. It's being anchored. I want to talk to you about how you can support that process of staying there more. Whenever you feel that you're going to the old way of living, where you survive, where you hustle, where you try to make things work without feeling the passion in it, without feeling that it comes from your source, your higher self, then become aware and drop it and focus to what brings you joy. So, for example, I'm aware of the time. I was doing for my birthday, I love to share. And my birthday I always share. So I had, which is now gone, but I had a birthday love, 90% off on 2 beautiful programs I run. And there was, in the beginning, I felt the joy and I was so excited. And after a few days, there were 2 days there, I was like, am I going to make enough money? How can I market it better? And da-da-da. I went all to the old way, thinking it might not be enough. I got so tired and didn't enjoy it anymore, but just get working at it. And then I realized on day 3, what am I doing? Took long this time. What am I doing? Let's go back to joy, because this is not working. And I only noticed it because I was so tired, I couldn't make it happen anymore. And got back to joy, and the energy came back, and I enjoyed it so much doing it. Doing what? Getting the emails out, making videos and about it to let people know that there was a beautiful 90% off for my birthday. Let's see what I will do next year. Yeah. So that's an example. When you notice you go to the old, bring yourself back to the joy. And though it was still the same, why I say this explanation is, it was still the same project, it was still the same thing I was working on. I didn't drop it, but I went back to the joy, feeling the joy of it. So you don't have to change your whole life in the actions and the things you do, but how you do it, and with what energy you do. And some things, they're not aligned anymore, and other things they do. Sometimes they need to go. Sometimes you can change the way you perceive them, the way you go about it. Anyway, there's so many videos on this channel about that. Let's just focus here. How are you doing at the moment? How are you feeling? I'm just talking a bit to get you more grounded. So let's get back to this space. Oh, one last thing. Let's focus. Let's tune in one more time. You're at your current reality. And then you are at that light living space. How easy is it to get there now? What number would you give it now in the end? Is it any different from the earlier one? Oh, what you can write in the comments is the early number and the second. So 2 numbers next to each other. So 8-2, for example. You started with it's the other way around, I guess, right? It becomes easier. The number becomes higher. I used to use it different, I know. I used to say the numbers, how much resistance is there, yeah. So maybe the first one was a 2 and the second is an 8 then. So we can really see all the differences. That's fun. And maybe for you there wasn't any difference. You don't feel it yet. Don't worry. I can guarantee that something happened for you. And how you might know is because you might be very sleepy after this. Some get a lot of energy. Drink a lot of water. Your body, there's so much shifts that happen in a short amount of time. You need to replenish your body. Maybe you need an extra rest. Maybe you don't want to drive immediately after this. You might be a little bit foggy and dazed. You need to ground yourself. That's why I talked a little bit longer. You need to ground yourself. So look out of the window, look a bit further out. Or if you can't look outside, are there 3 blue things in your room? What are they? Name them. That one, part of my curtain. There is a book here, blue, and there's another book there, blue. Great. Forgot about that whole thing. Coming back here. And if that's still not enough, barefoot on the grass. It's winter, it's a bit cold. Walk barefoot in the room, or have a shower, or whatever you do to ground yourself. I'm sure you know. Beautiful you. I hope this helped you. It was fun to It was interesting. I had another video for today, but all of a sudden I thought, now this is what I want to do. So if you want to do this individual, connect with me. You will find it under aliceroorda.com. And that's where we end. Geez, this is a long one, right? Beautiful to do this with you. Much love, and take well care of your human. Give it the rest it needs and the love. And much love, and I'm looking forward to a next video. I have no idea if we got to do more of these. We will see. Much love. Bye-bye.